I got this comment the other day. What's the point? What is the point of it all? I don't see the point in these recreations. The appeal of finding the real demo is to see what isn't shown in the video, plus the historical preservation. A recreation based entirely on footage provides neither. As for the strange unearthly vibes of the demo, B3313 is a way better experience for this stuff as it's a full game built around it. So this is a great comment. I'm blurring the name here because I'm not sure if they want their comment, albeit a public comment, to have this much attention. But nonetheless, I think it is a great talking point. And I'm not being facetious either. Really though, what's the reason why we as a community put so much effort into recreating lost prototype beta builds and canceled games? It got me thinking. For a bit of context, this comment was on my show floor video, covering a new mod that recreates the 1995 Space World build of Mario 64. The other mod he's referring to is B3313. Now, a lot of YouTubers have pushed the narrative that Mario 64 is placed in a bizarre, semi-lifeless, liminal space, an eerie environment where Mario is very much alone, especially in the beta. Do you all remember the every copy is personalized Mario 64 meme? It's basically that. Now, B3313 takes this concept and runs with it. It starts off as a beta remake, but it soon turns dark with twists, turns, and ultimately becomes a mind trip. I did a video on it a few years back, which didn't get much attention, unfortunately, but if you are interested in checking it out, there'll be a link to the video in the card above and also the description below. So basically, his point is this: why rebuild something that'll be imperfect? Perfect being preserving the actual ROM/files. If you can't do that, then it's just interpretation, especially for areas that weren't even shown off. So the modders are just guessing at that point. So why not create something new and interesting based on what does exist? It's not a bad point, I don't agree with it, but I also see what they're saying. Additionally, you would also kind of have to agree that Mario 64 is very liminal and lonely and eerie to believe that B3313 is a better interpretation of it, but that's kind of another conversation entirely. Now, we've covered a ton of these types of mods on the channel, and there seems to be a lot of interest in the community, hence why we keep covering them. And when I thought about it, I realized they kind of really range in terms of being a gray area between preservation and recreation. One of our channel members said the following on our Discord, and I'm gonna kind of run with it. Basically, they're saying that by rebuilding or recreating the demos, it does actually encourage documentation and preservation, and that's sort of part of the process. So for example, let's take the Zelda Space World 97 experience. A few years ago, a team that I was lucky enough to be a part of found an overdump of Zelda Ocarina of Time on an F-Zero development cartridge. Half the data was there. If I recall correctly, it included data for the items, textures, the text/script, and the maps. It did not include the music, character or enemy models, character or enemy behavior, or the moment-to-moment gameplay, i.e. you couldn't play the game from start to finish. This quote-unquote mod takes the massive amount of content and modded it over the retail Ocarina of Time to make a playable Space World demo experience. Additionally, some behavior and Link's unused moves are actually still in the retail game and can be accessed via a Game Shark, so that's also authentic, it's not a recreation, and those were added back in. Other gaps regarding enemies were just sort of filled in with what we know from footage and screenshots with the retail enemy behavior applied to them. So is this a recreation or is it preservation? Well, honestly, it's both. You can't play the overdump, it's just data. So for it to be enjoyed at all, it needed to be implemented and reapplied. That aspect is preservation. The gaps are recreation. What about the preservation project or the show floor mod that I mentioned earlier? These are the mods that recreate Mario 64's 95 Space World demo. Well, we have so much footage of this event that many of the levels aren't even guesswork. Yes, it is remade, but I'd say a good degree of it is pretty accurate. Is that preservation? Well, no, not really. But these teams, and also the team members in mods such as Render96, the SGI project, had to go in and find some of the original audio and texture libraries that Nintendo used and reapply them into the game. In doing so, they preserved parts of the game and its beta. It's mostly recreation, but it's also a snippet of preservation. That is somewhat like this Zelda Link's Awakening project. The game used to be a rough remake of A Link to the Past. We have some screenshots and a map from the 2020 Nintendo Giga Leak. The creator ran with these and built upon them. It's a slight hybrid of authentic and inauthentic. What about this Earthbound 64/Mother 3 project? It is not authentic at all. It can't even run on an N64. It is PC only. Why even bother? Well, I think it comes down to this. It's fun. This is an example of a game that we don't have at all. Well, we have Mother 3 in the GBA, but the original N64 version is absolutely incomplete and lost to time. People were looking forward to this, they fantasized about this, they're still eager and hopeful that it'll appear. While I'm typing this, I also realize that Mother 3 is essentially a sort of video game messianic figure that will come again at the Nintendo end times. Either way, eventually people just get tired of looking at screenshots. They want more. And there's a certain joy to cosplay as playing the game. We know it's not real, we know it's not perfect, but there's a happiness to finally move around as these characters in space and fantasize. It's sort of the adult video gamer equivalent of playing pretend. To conclude, I think new mods are amazing. Mods that are built around a beta like B3313 are fantastic, and if you don't mind your brain being obliterated, you should play it. Look at this map, by the way. This is just a guess. Nobody really knows how real or expansive it actually is. It is insane. And also, of course, mods that preserve or simply recreate a game also serve a purpose. Granted, they are not for everybody, I get it, but I think there is a reasonable argument for their existence and the joy that they bring people. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. I certainly appreciate it. Please leave me a comment down below. Even if you don't know what to say, a simple hi or nice video or whatever you want to say is very helpful and feeds the YouTube algorithm. Thanks again, and hope to see you all back for the next one.